Um, did a community post yesterday with some information that I'm showing you right here that was looking at, and I didn't really have a lot of time to post too much about it, but I was just looking at the fact that this Sunday, 9/21, there's a lot going on. It's NFL football weekend. It is Charlie Kirk's funeral, which is going to be held inside of a stadium. And I was just referencing the Batman movie where an event happens in a stadium, um, and just some other connections that I see, especially this one with the Back to the Future stuff, which is 40 years old as of this year. So I just wanted to point out a couple of things that I was looking at in my last video that I made. I had pointed this stuff out here at the very end because I wasn't really sure what to do with it, but it made some sense to me, and I dug a little deeper into it. But yep, from 121, 121 gigawatts. Trump's very first day in office, his first term, until tomorrow, September 21st. It's 3165 days, which is 8 years and 8 months. So that's an 88 connection. We know Trump is 88 in gematria. And then you also get the 104, like the 1004 lightning strike that happened in Back to the Future. And those are some of the elements that film shows in relation to a Rapture type event or an escape. We see the flux capacitor in the background, the Y. The Y is the 25th letter of the alphabet. And I was just connecting some things to that. And I did put all that stuff down here yesterday. But anyway, I want to show a few other things that I see. You know, there's this picture of Trump. It was related to 2001: A Space Odyssey from a couple of years ago, but there is a partial solar eclipse tomorrow. And here you see Trump's head blocking the sun here, but not completely. So it could be a partial solar eclipse right there that we're looking at. No way to tell for sure. So this video is really about the potential that maybe we'll see an event at that stadium. Trump is supposed to attend the funeral with many other high-ranking government officials. So we'll see what happens with that. But I'm just posting some stuff here, and I want to talk about the possibility of an event tomorrow, and that being the last Trump right before the Feast of Trumpets. So tomorrow is the International Day of Peace, September 21st. A few things from my pet goat. Some scenes I've gone over before, but at the same time, they can be, looked at differently because it's a multi-layered thing. But here we go. So here's Bush again, Trump, his hair on his back. And then there's numbered information on this one. But he's looking over at the hangman. And I always looked at this as XXV as in 5, but maybe it's XX1 as in 21. And here's a 7 here for September, Sept. And that could be a possibility. So I'm looking at this in relation to tomorrow as a 111 or a 21 for September 21st. Here's the other eyebrow here. And on this, the same thing. This could be a backwards 2 and a 1 for 21. And then there's the 7 for Sept, September 21. Trump on his back here. This scene here also, I just wanted to show, yep, the hangman XX1 and the head wound event here. Now, there's another interpretation of this Trump situation where we look at the evolution chart, and in the video, once the head wound occurs, the hat goes from pointing over here to pointing over here. So maybe when he does finally get FF shot, it doesn't take him out completely, but he is brain damaged from it and no longer able to fulfill his duties as president. Let's see. Same thing here. XX1 for 21. So we'll see. I I have a calendar. I've had it marked for the entire year because I save the information and transfer it to new calendars at the end of each year, because I want to continue watching those same dates that I had marked down, that I've collected over time. So tomorrow, the International Day of Peace. It's also the 101st. Well, it leaves 101 days remaining in the year, which is pretty interesting because after the head wound, you see the Bush character change into this character, and he's laughing with the 101 on the board. So I'm not sure if there's a connection there. And then I saw this, as we look at Moon Giant. For tomorrow, it's a new moon. And in the Bible, there's a couple of verses related to the new moon. And I wanted to point that out here in 1 Samuel. Then Jonathan said to David, "Tomorrow is the new moon, and thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be empty." Now, why will it be empty? I'm not sure. Is that a Rapture reference? Psalm 81:3, "Blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed, on our solemn feast day." So, maybe we will hear the trumpet tomorrow, right before the Feast of Trumpets. And then a while back, especially Dana and Raw Repent were looking at the Google image that we see here, and looking for a 3/4 moon lit on the left side. And we were all looking at that. Here's another one in the animated short Journey. The clock here is pointing to the 3/4 moon. Here is one of Raw's clips. Why can't I do this? And I'll play it really fast. You see how the sun is just illuminating that one side. So I was thinking about that, and then I was looking at this. So the September equinox. There's 2 each year, one in September, one in March. The sun crosses the equator from north to south, so it lights up half of the world. But the way it's looking here reminds me of what we just looked at. And maybe that's what the Google image actually meant. So I don't know. Everybody's familiar with the U2 song, Sunday Bloody Sunday. Lots going on tomorrow, so we will certainly see. And then I want to look at this in iPad Goat really fast. I'm almost done here. There's not really that much more that I wanted to talk about, but I want to talk about how we see this in iPad Goat. We see 21, we see 22, and we see 23. And I'm going to show you as the apple rolls, and it drops and rolls over the honey, the milk and honey for Rosh Hashanah. When the apple splits, you see 21 for 21. Let me just lower this really quick because I hate it. Okay, so you see 21 here, and maybe something kicks off. But if you continue to watch this video, next we see Obama sweating with the V on his forehead, and that's the 22nd letter of the alphabet. So it looks like he knows what's coming. And then it pans outside, and we see the 23. So it looks like a succession of numbers, 21, 22, 23, 23 going into 24, being the Feast of Trumpets. Maybe that's what we're seeing here, is a succession of events that starts on the 21st and culminates on the 23rd. I can't be sure, but I've always noticed that in iPad Goat, that like one after another you see the 21, the 22, and the 23 represented in that video. And then something else that was just pretty interesting in Back to the Future. We see the Western Auto sign, which is a 9, which can also reflect September. And when you flip it over, it's still the 9, but it just reminded me of this, and we're seeing a lot of things in the news about this lately. So is that like another hint that we're really close to a very huge event taking place? So I don't know. Is it going to be the last Trump? I'm not sure. Here's a book on Amazon, Donald the Last Trump. And I found that pretty interesting. But we shall see. Um, I don't know. That's all I really have for you guys. I just wanted to touch base because I didn't have time to really post much yesterday. Busy work week. But guys, I pray that this is it or we're close to it. And I guess we just have a few days left to find out. And if not, we will continue to watch. God bless, guys.